That was probably the most awkward entrance you guys have ever seen to a video, but nevertheless. What's up guys, my name's Lukas Eriksen, and today we're going to talk about some Lightroom presets. So Lightroom presets are a great way in which you guys can spice up your photos and just add some contingency in between them. So when you're scrolling through Instagram, it's just awesome to see photos which match each other and just create a great balance between them. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for subscribing to my channel. We just hit 10,000 subscribers a week ago, and it's just so insane to have that happen. But I can assure you guys, this is just the start of everything. And there's going to be so much more content coming out in the next couple of weeks, months, just depending on how much I can upload just due to school. But yeah, so let's have a look at all these awesome Lightroom presets. Let's go. So now that you guys have seen all those awesome Lightroom presets which I've created for you guys, let's just talk about presets for a second. So first of all, it's extremely important that you guys don't just slap on that preset over the top of your photo, because each photo is going to have different colors, different exposing conditions. Is that a word? Well, it's a word now, so yeah. And so it's extremely important that you guys adapt each of the filters and to each of the photos which you take. I also want to thank Hamish for modelling in these shots. He's actually doing his first modelling ever. We took some photos in Perth yesterday. It was lots of fun, and I want to do some more model shoots now as well. It's just like, it's so much fun just walking around with a camera and just taking photos. Back to the point, here's his Instagram is popping up right there, boom. And also thank you to Philip, who is editing this video. Thank you so much. If things look a bit different in this video, guys, it's just him. Blame everything on him, alright? I'm just joking. I'm joking. He'll do a great job, I'm sure. Alright, so let's get into these Lightroom presets. So to install all these presets, you guys can need to go in the description down below, down there, and click on the link, and you guys are going to download those presets. The next thing we're going to do now is open up Lightroom and press the little plus there, and then scroll down and make sure you go to import presets. Now, pretty self-explanatory. Just select those presets that you've just downloaded and import them, and then you should have them all in your Lightroom. Now this is amazing. It's so easy. Thank you, Lightroom. It's very nice. That being said, these are also .xmp files, so you will need Lightroom Classic to use these, because the previous versions don't actually have that .xmp file compatibility. But I think most of us do have Lightroom Classic, so this shouldn't be an issue for many of us. Okay guys, so the first preset that I want to talk about today is the color boost preset. Now this is a great preset for literally boosting the colors within the image. You can be used in all types of lighting situations, and I've left the contrast, exposure and stuff. That's all up to you guys to regulate that and make it fit to your image. But as we can see, if we reset this, it's quite flat. There's not really much going on, but if we go back and put that back on, it just really makes the colors pop, and I think that's just a great preset that you can just use all around whenever you want to just accentuate some of the colors within your image. So next up we've got our cool tones preset. Now this preset is great for really bright sunlight. We've got some grass and lots of white tones. So pretty much exactly this situation right here. We've got Hamish sitting on the stairs right here. And what's really good about this preset as well is that it makes the green tones pretty dark and pretty rich, which looks really nice against the white overexposed tones. As we can see, if we reset this, it's quite a boring image, but still looks pretty nice. But if we pop that filter on, it just looks that extra bit cool and punchy. So yeah, next up we've got darken, and this is a great one if you just want to bring out some of the deeper and more rich colors within the image. As you can see, the blacks are really being accentuated in his hair as well. Otherwise, it just brings out some of the blue tones of the image as well, and lots of greens as well, as we can see here by all the the green leaves and stuff. But yeah, I think that's a great one that you can use. Again, the exposure, contrast, all this stuff, you're probably going to want to change that yourself. I've left it kind of pretty ambiguous. Let's just reset that, have a look. As I said, it doesn't really do much to the image, but it does just bring out some colors. And yeah, I recommend you guys just, when you're using this one, make sure you have some of these colors in the image, so some of the blues, some of the greens, just to bring those colors out. So next up we actually have foliage. This is this one right here. Again, it kind of I named it foliage just because it brings out the green tones within the image. It's also quite good for the blue tones, as we can see here. It doesn't really do too well with the skin tones, as we can see that his face is kind of pretty red, but all this can be corrected in your color panel down here, depending on your model's skin color. Yeah, I think that's just a great one, especially for nature shots as well, where it's just raw nature. That will look really good with this preset. Let's reset that. As you can see, it does quite a lot to the image, and I really like this one. So next up we've got vibes. This is probably one of my favorites of the whole pack, just because I just love the moody feel of this whole preset and whole just the color scheme. Hamish was wearing a yellow jumper, which really worked well with this preset. I've actually desaturated the yellows just a bit because they were pretty piercing, but I added also a vignette around the sides just so your eyes are drawn more to the center of the image. But yeah, I really like this image, and the preset really just adds to it. Next up we've got the light teal and orange ones. This is this one right here. It's almost accentuating some of the pink tones as well, as we can see here in the steps. There's lots of pink tones, and but yeah, it's teal and orange is pretty overused right now, and lots of people are using it. So what's a preset pack without teal and orange, am I right? So I've added that one in. Just you got some nice light tones. It's not too heavy. You can adjust all this in your settings, obviously down here. Obviously, I also recommend you change the exposure settings. But otherwise, it's pretty. Yeah, you can pretty much use it on all stuff. Just don't overuse it, obviously. So next up we've got muted tones. So this is this one right here. And as you can see, the blacks are being crushed right here. As we can see by this tone curve down here, it's kind of just taking out some of the black and just clipping it out. This is a really nice all-rounder preset. If you don't know what preset to put on a particular photo, this is a great option because it's just yeah, it's just really good. I really like it. So that's that, and let's move on and let's go to oak. Now this is quite a hard one to apply to anything, just because it is quite harsh in the colors which it accentuates. But as you can see, it doesn't really fare well against the skin tones here. But yeah, it makes the skin tones look really orangey and doesn't really look too good against this backdrop. So definitely this one's probably better for just urban settings without any people in it, just because the skin tones are kind of deteriorating by this preset. But yeah, just don't overuse it. Again, teal and orange. So next up we've actually got pastel blue. Now this is again one of my favorites. Actually, just love the way it looks. We've actually got this kind. It's almost pretty much a teal and orange as well. It's a lot less. You can pretty much barely see it. But you've got really nice rich blues in the background, and then you've got some oranges. They're just kind of piercing, but they were kind of already like that in the first place. So as you can see, that's the original, and then that is with all the settings and stuff applied. It's just amazing. I also added a bit of a mask to Hamish right here, just because it is quite dark like that. So we take that off and then we put it back on. We can see that that's a pretty big difference compared to without the mask. So it does kind of crush some of the shadows within the image, but you can just use masks to kind of fix that up. So this is the RUSTIC preset right here. As you can see, it's almost accentuating pretty much all the orange tones within the image. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know how many images you can really apply this to, but I definitely recommend you can try it out on some images, just see what it looks like for you guys. But I think it's quite a nice one to use every now and again, but just don't overuse it. So next up we've actually got the sand Kolder desaturation, and if there's any of these that you can really only use on very specific type of images, it's probably this one, just because as you can see here, it does pretty much just completely transform the image. Yeah, I don't know if you can really use that on anyone's skin tones, because the skin tones will get stuffed up, but it just looks really nice if you do find a good situation. If you look at the original of this image, it's quite soft lighting, lots of shadows in there. But yeah, I'm just not sure how many images you can really use that in, but I think you guys will find a use for this. I just genuinely really like this preset, and I think it really should be used by more people. It looks really nice, and it kind of emulates that Sam Kolder, where he desaturates all his greens and makes them kind of white. I think it gives it a really nice feel, kind of even surreal. But yeah, I think let's move on to the next one right here. So we've got soft light, and this is really nice. This is a really nice one as well, as it's just, you can use it all rounder. It's very nice, very rich tones that you're getting here. You can probably use this on lots of like lifestyle kind of images, like wedding images probably would work well with this one as well. Just because it's pretty neutral, it doesn't really change too much. It just adds some nice warmth to the image. Because if we reset it here, it's quite, I mean, it's already quite a warm image, but like just that preset just really just accentuates some of the black tones and just the deeper colors within it. Next one we actually have is sunset. Now sunset, we can play onto that as well. You can see what it does to it. It just pretty much just crushes those black tones which we've just accentuated. So this is pretty much the example, and it looks pretty nice, I think, and it looks like a sunset. That's why I named it sunset. But I think that's definitely a very nice one that you guys can use. Again, it's just pretty much the same as the last one, except that it just accentuates and it just crushes those black tones, as we can see by this tone curve down in the corner here. Now next up, second last, we've got warm tones. Now, warm tones, where are you? Where are you, warm tones? This is warm tones. So this is my preset warm tones, and I think that it's a very neutral preset, just like the last two we've just seen, and it's pretty versatile. You can use it on pretty much all the images that you have. Yeah, it just really warms up some of those colors within the image. If we can reset that, see, look, it just really brings out some of the light in his face as well. I think that's really handy with this one. And yeah, that's pretty much that one. So last one we've got now is actually washed out. This is probably one of my favorites again as well. Just because it just looks like that kind of Instagram kind of look. It looks like just so nice, very classy. What this preset does is it just brings out like lots of white in the image. Just desaturates lots of the background, but it leaves the skin tones neutral, which is really nice for portraits. As you can see in this image here, where Hamish is just his skin tones look really, really nice in this. I've also got a guy here who's just chilling. Yeah. We actually found $50 on the floor as well. That was pretty lit. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy them, just smash that like button and subscribe for more weekly content. Well, hopefully weekly content. Yeah, if you want to download any of these presets or just the whole pack, just go in the description below and it'll all be there. But I hope you guys have a nice week. I think lots of you guys have exams right now, so good luck. This video was a ton of fun to make, and if you want to see any more presets, let me know in the comments down below. Also, thank you to Philip again for actually editing this video and putting it all together. He wants to gain some experience in editing, so subscribe to his channel down below, and this is his Instagram handle right here. And yeah, also thank you to Hamish for being a model in these shots. We went to Perth yesterday and just did some shots. It looks really, really nice. I think he's very happy with most of them. Yeah, modeling's like taking photos of models and portraits is really fun. I think more of you guys should do it. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Who knows what will be next week. This is a really long outro, probably cut this down. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and goodbye.